Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kings of Wrestling channel, as has been the case for the past 3 years now 39, 40, and 41. We're going to be predicting the WrestleMania card, and we will be trying to figure out, I will be placing my predictions, the official predictions for the WrestleMania card. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So first up, we have the Liv Morgan and Raquel versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria match for the women's tag team championships. This is literally the most boring match on the card, in my opinion. I am not excited for this at all, and I generally could not care about the winner here. It is a shame that they couldn't figure out a better match for Lyra Valkyria or Bayley or any of the, or even Liv Morgan. Instead, they wanted to put them on the card, so they did this. But my official prediction is going to be Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I hope they're not going to be giving Lyra Valkyria 2 championships. The Women's Intercontinental Championship should be a little bit more prestigious than, oh, she's also a Women's Tag Team Champion. So, I hope Liv Morgan and Raquel win here. Next up, we have the New Day versus the War Raiders. This is literally just probably going to be the second match of night one. I can imagine that. And I don't see why the other tag team championships aren't on aren't on WrestleMania as well. I feel like we could have done way better matches. We could have done like a fatal 4-way ladder match for the tag team championships like we did last year, but it is what it is, and I believe that the New Day are going to be but are going to be winning the tag team championships at Mania this year, taking them off of the War Raiders, because their heel work lately has just been just that good. Next up, we have the women's triple threat match for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. This is going to be an amazing match, but the build up to it has just not been it. I am starting this video off extremely negatively, but I am extremely excited for Mania this year, unlike a lot of people. It's just I'm trying to get those matches that I'm not really excited for out of the way. This is going to be a great match. It's going to steal the show. It's probably going to open up night 1 or 2. I can imagine that it's going to be opening up. But my official prediction is, because I realized this at someone on Reddit, I believe, posted it. Bianca Belair is undefeated at Mania, and I believe they may be continuing that, trying to go for an Undertaker-like streak for Belair. So I imagine that Bianca Belair could win tonight. I believe that they might have Rhea win, but I'm just going to throw my hat out there and put my prediction as Bianca Belair. And now the match that I wasn't excited for at first, but something recently came up. No, I'm not talking about Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. That's the one I'm going to be doing afterwards. Jey Uso versus Gunther. Jey Uso deserves a WrestleMania match, in my opinion. At least, he deserves, a world championship match. He deserves a WrestleMania moment where he wins the championship. I could see them doing that this year. He deserves it. He's putting in a lot of work. He is one of the top guys in the company right now, and is beloved by a lot of children and stuff. So I see them without a doubt pulling the trigger on Jey Uso at WrestleMania and having him beat Gunther. So my official prediction is that Jey Uso is going to be winning. I was not excited for this match at first. I was like, oh yeah, Jey Uso wins the Rumble. I was one of those people who was excited for it. I was jumping around. I was happy for Uso, but then as the weeks went on, I was starting to lose a little bit of interest. And then that moment with Jimmy Uso and Gunther, and him just zip tying Jey Uso there while Jey Uso cannot help and is getting no help from anyone else. I mean, this just turned me extremely excited for the match. Well, next up, Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. This one I was not excited for at all. I did not want to see this. I did not want to see Flair at Mania against Stratton. I didn't want to see this in the card. I didn't want to see Stratton versus Flair at all. But we're getting it, and so I was like, okay, I'll accept it as long as Stratton wins. And now I'm a little bit more excited for it after the promo between the two where Stratton brought up the divorces of Flair. But I hope to God that Flair does not win at Mania this week, and I could see them doing it. But I hope to God that they don't do that, because nobody wants to see Charlotte Flair become a champion right now. Nobody wants to see a 15th championship on Flair. So my official prediction will be Tiffany Stratton, but I will not be shocked if they have Flair win, which I do not want to see. Next up, we have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. This is one that I was not expecting to be this excited for. I mean, Logan Paul and Styles have great matches, and Styles is just so amazing in the ring that he could make a broomstick have a good match. And Logan Paul is all about like the big spots and the big moments, especially at Mania. So this match, we're going to be walking away from thinking, holy shit, this was a really good match. But I believe that it is just built up to be a match where Styles overcomes Logan Paul, shuts Logan Paul up at the end of it, but Logan Paul continues being that douchey asshole. But, the whole point of that being, AJ Styles beats Logan Paul because the guy who's humble and loves wrestling always overcomes the guy who's only in wrestling for the money. So my official prediction is AJ Styles there. Next up, we have LA Knight, versus Jacob Fatu. This match has me confused. I can see them having either person win. Also, I want to say, excuse the voice. I know it's 8 minutes into the video already, but I'm just coming back from being sick, so I still have a little bit of a stuffy nose, so it's hard for me to talk. So I'm obviously sounding stuffy, but I could see either Knight or Fatu winning this, and I generally cannot imagine in my mind who it's gonna be. Because I want LA Knight to have a longer title run, but at the same time, like, Jacob Fatu really deserves a WrestleMania moment and deserves the championship, and I could see them pulling, doing that for Fatu, making him win the United States Championship at his first Mania. The only question I have is where's the story going to go after this one, and that's what led me to go for Jacob Fatu as my official prediction, because I see him winning the United States Championship and this leading into troubles within the bloodline. Solo Sikoa, Fatu, this having the breakup, and Fatu becoming a single star. I believe that this mania is where we're going to see Fatu become one of the biggest names in the company. Next up, we have Jade Carill versus Naomi. I mean, this one's obvious. It's gonna be Carill winning this. There's literally nothing to discuss here. Naomi's been doing really good with her heel work, but that Jade return there, where she revealed Naomi being there, it was an amazing moment, and I could see them taking that moment, launching it into a moment at Mania where she defeats Naomi, and then now Cargill's facing for the Undisputed Women's Championship. Stratton versus Cargill, or Cargill versus... Cargill versus Belair. If Belair wins, so triple threat would just feed families. We have to see Belair turn heel on Cargill after she wins the championship, and now we have a match. SummerSlam, Belair versus Cargill would be just it would be one of those things where people are going to be talking about it for a long time if that happens. Next up, we have Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in the Sin City Street Fight. This match I'm not really excited for. They're only doing it because they want both Priest and McIntyre on the card, but they didn't have anything better for them to do. But they know that they need like a prominent spot at Mania, so they put them together, put it into the street fight. But the story makes sense, Priest beat McIntyre at Mania last year, and they've had matches in the past, and it is tied together. But I do wish that Drew McIntyre was like involved in that triple threat that's going to be in the main event of night one. I wish that was what we had, but I believe that McIntyre is going to win this, but I would not be surprised if they have Priest win this. But I just hope that McIntyre wins this, and McIntyre needs a Mania moment. If he loses at Mania, then I believe that a lot of his momentum could be gone. He was one of the biggest players in WWE in 2024, and I believe that he should be winning and having a good title reign at some point in either 2025 or 2026 with the World Championship. Next up, we have El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio. And I mean, how do you not have Chad Gable on this show, but instead you have this guy who nobody knows, this El Grande Americano, going up against Rey Mysterio of all people? I wish this was Chad Gable in place of Americano. But from what I've seen, Americano is a pretty good wrestler. The obviously shades of Chad Gable. Chad Gable, obviously a big inspiration for Americano. And this same can be said about Kurt Angle. Rey Mysterio, Kurt Angle mix up. Maybe that's where he got his inspiration from. So this Rey Mysterio match could be like a really big deal for Americano. But, I really wish that Chad Gable would just have a match instead. I mean, I believe this is why we should have had, like, some more ladder matches for the championships, like the Intercontinental Championship. I wish there was a little bit more people in there, like a Chad Gable and a Rey Mysterio. I mean, Americano could have been good in a ladder match as well. Why not? But alas, we're not going to be getting that. Americano versus Rey, I believe, will be, like, the second match as well. Just like the New Day versus Warriors. I believe that, not Warriors, Raiders. I believe those two matches are going to be the second matches of the night that remind people, like, oh, hey, these are actually, like, really good. And these are some really underrated matches that we need to watch more. But I believe that for Americano's first Mania, he is going to go over. They're not going to be investing time in this new guy, having him face Rey Mysterio just for Rey Mysterio to beat him. So Americano is my prediction for that match. And we just spoke about it, the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way, Braun Breaker versus Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor versus Penta. This match is where I believe Finn Balor is no longer part of the Judgment Day. If Dominic Mysterio wins the Intercontinental Championship at Mania, it will be one of the loudest reactions in Mania history of just people just screaming and booing. I believe the heat that Dominic Mysterio could get from this match could be amazing, but I do not see them doing that. I don't see them I don't see them doing Mysterio winning the championship at Mania. At some point, he should win the Intercontinental Championship, but I see this being the big moment for Penta. I could see Penta becoming the Intercontinental Championship. Becoming the Intercontinental Champion, at Mania. But I do believe Finn Balor is not going to be a member of the Judgment Day. I think he's going to turn face, and I think he's going to, start winning again. But I believe that Penta is going to be the Intercontinental Champion once we leave Mania. Next up, we have Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, or what would have been Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton, but it has since changed since Kevin Owens revealed that he was injured. And I just want to note that I am recording this before SmackDown. I'm releasing it on Saturday morning of Mania, so I'm not sure what it is. But my prediction for the Randy Orton match is going to be Randy Orton versus Nick Aldis or Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa. I personally hope it's Nick Aldis, but it's going to be Solo Sikoa just so they can play it safe. So Solo Sikoa versus Randy Orton is the match that I believe it's going to be. And I believe pretty well that it's going to be Solo Sikoa. There's a big overlap between Randy Orton and Solo Sikoa, where these two are fighting, bloodline, and all this stuff. So plus with Solo Sikoa interfering last week on SmackDown, it's kind of obvious that it's going to be Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa. But who's gonna win? It's obviously gonna be Randy Orton. It's gonna be Randy Orton winning, and that's the entire prediction. And now for the two final matches, the ones that I am most excited for personally, that everybody is excited for. We have the triple threat main event, Punk, Rollins, Reigns. This is one of the most exciting stories in this entire Mania card. I love everything they've done with this. I'm not really sure about the Paul Heyman favor stuff with Rollins lately, but I could see Paul Heyman turning on Punk and Rollins, Punk and Reigns, and having him join with Rollins. I mean, we've seen them shake hands before. We've seen a lot of stuff. Them shaking hands was like, 10 years ago? Ooh. So it's not like it would be really that shock. I mean, it would be a really shocking moment to see Paul Heyman do that. So Rollins coming out on top as a heel with Paul Heyman, I could see that, but I don't think they're gonna do that. I think that would be too much of a risk for Triple H to do, and I could just see him having Punk win in his first main event. I could see CM Punk winning this match, and that is my final prediction, is CM Punk winning this match with Heyman joining Punk permanently. That's my final prediction. And now finally, the Rock, Cena and Rhodes, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, the biggest match of Mania this year. The biggest story, John Cena heel. John Cena going after that 17th championship to defeat Ric Flair's record. And, he sold his soul to The Rock. John Cena's finally heel. This is the first time that I get to watch him live, be a heel, and, wrestle a match as a heel. So this is really big for me. I grew up watching John Cena. I grew up idolizing Cena, and I love this story. I could not be more excited for it. This is Cena's last Mania match, and that is just amazing. And I personally believe Cena is going to come out on top with the help of The Rock. The Rock is going to come out. He's going to interfere. And Rhodes is going to lose the championship. Cena's going to win. He's going to become The Rock's champion. And The Rock screws Cody. And we all leave Mania with Cena as the new world champion. My final prediction for that is John Cena. I do not see him bringing back the Spinner Championship because now people are asking for it. People are asking for change. People want him to be healed. But his whole shtick is, I haven't changed. I'm just reacting how you wanted me to react. So, I don't see him going for the spinner belt because he wouldn't have done that if he was a face. If he did do the spinner belt, it would just to cause heat, which that's not what Cena's about. Cena's not about trying to catch heat. It's literally just, I'm a bad guy, but I'm still the same guy I was before. Like, that's his whole entire character. So, I believe Cena's going to keep the Undisputed Championship. But yeah, that is my final WrestleMania predictions. Just to speed run the entire predictions list, we have Morgan Raquel, The New Day, Bianca Belair, Jey Uso, Tiffany Stratton, AJ Styles, Jacob Fatu, Jade Cargill, Drew McIntyre, El Grande Americano, Penta, Randy Orton facing Solo Sikoa, CM Punk with Paul Heyman, and John Cena. Alright, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Hopefully that will be the continuation of episode 3 of KOW Dark. Thank you. You guys have a great night. Thank you for watching.